half-price haul for April 14th, 2024. Let's look at it. A very interesting lot today. First thing on the docket, we've got a Mercury Living Presence stereo recording of various band instrument recordings, American patriotic kind of themed stuff, Spirit of 76, Frederick Fennell, and the Eastman Wind Ensemble, of course a stalwart of the label. I'm not keeping this, but these Mercury CDs sell so well on eBay for me. They almost sell like instantaneously, and I make good money on them. I got this for $2. I could probably put this up for, I don't know, $6 maybe, and make a few dollars. Got a copy of Anais Nin's Henry and June here. This is from her diaries, and this was made into a very good movie in the 90s with Fred Ward, Maria Medeiros, and Uma Thurman. Yeah, very sexy movie, sexy story, and that was a controversial movie because it got an NC-17 rating. There was kind of a battle over that, and you know, a lot of theaters didn't want to show those because they were basically considered X-rated films. I already own this book. This is an earlier edition. I got this for $2 today. I'll show you. I have a pretty complete Anais Nin collection. All this is Anais Nin from all the way over here to over here. I actually have some of them turned backward because I don't want people to see the titles if they walk in here. You know, that's kind of your gentleman's collection, as it were, as they said back in the day when they hid it in their cabinets. But so yeah, here's my copy. I have a newer copy of Henry and June right here, which I'll probably keep. I'll sell this earlier edition. Make a little bit of money on that. 1974 version of Murder on the Orient Express. I'm going to sell this. I already own this movie, of course. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm sure I would like this one more than the remake with Kenneth Branagh. You know, the modern movies all look so fake. And of course, this has a great cast. And it's sealed. It's brand new, so I'll be able to get some of that brand new sealed cachet on eBay with that. It can go for a little bit more money. Now, this won't make much money because this is a very common release. It's not rare, and it's not worth that much. But, you know, as a sealed item, I could probably make a couple bucks on it. We have one of the great perfect movies of the 70s here, The Long Goodbye. I got this for $1. As with all these DVDs I'm showing, they were $1 today. Elliot Gould, a Robert Altman classic, one of his great films of the decade. Perfect in the way that 1970s shambolic movies were perfect. You know, a complete contrast to the perfection of earlier Hollywood, where you had these perfectly hewn, iconic films. This is the opposite of that, and yet, because of that, it's perfect. It's a noir in the noonday LA sun, and has an amazing opening where he's messing around with his cat and doesn't seem to have anything to do with the plot, and it's so wonderful. $1. I already own this naturally, but I feel like I can make a little bit of money on that. This is a real gem. This was $1, and it has 6 movies in it. It's called Leading Ladies Collection. This was put out by, I guess, MGM or Warner. It's put out by Warner. And it was put out in 2012, so it was after that Rotting Batch was made. The Rotting Batches date from like 2005 to about 2010, so this was after that. So they should have corrected that problem with these batches. This should be a perfectly fine set. This has amazing films in it. Like, a lot of these compilation collection cheapies will have like 1 or 2 really great films, and then they'll pad it out with like shoddy second-rate movies or third-rate movies just to get rid of them. But this isn't the case with this one. This one has first-class movies all the way through, and some of these are a little bit hard to find, actually. So you got Big Hand for the Little Lady, 1966. Is it Joanne Woodward in that? Yes. And Henry Fonda, and it's kind of got a twist ending. It's a gambling movie. Vintage gambling movie. It's a comedy. It's very good film. I'll Cry Tomorrow. That was the Lillian Roth biography that Susan Hayward made around 1954. Classic film. Rich and Famous. This is probably the weakest film in this set, but it has its charms. It was George Cukor's last movie. It was made in 1982. I remember I reviewed this for the college paper. I gave it kind of a savage review. I really hated this film. But in retrospect, I probably would enjoy this. It's a soap opera, and it's a modern soap opera, and it's George Cukor trying to be relevant in the 80s, and he even throws a sex scene in, which is so lumpin' and clumsy, he can't really handle it. Shoot the Moon, another, I think 1982 film. This one was a very serious drama about a broken marriage. Very honest and very sad, and Very depressing. Albert Finney and I think Diane Keaton are in this. A strong movie in this set. I'm about to make the common mistake of continually calling Sandy Dennis Sandy Denny because there was a singer called Sandy Denny around the same time as Sandy Dennis was an actress. Sandy Denny was in Fairport Convention. She made great records. She was this great, I guess, Irish singer with a great voice. Sandy Dennis was a great actress. Thank you. And then finally we got Up This Down Staircase with Sandy Denny. This was one of those many movies that was made in the 60s where you had, in some cases, like the white savior coming to rescue the urban classroom kids, the juvenile delinquents. Of course, Sidney Poitier had one too, To Sir with Love. He was not a white savior, but the funny thing is he was in one of those movies earlier, The Blackboard Jungle in 1955, as one of the juvenile delinquents, and I guess that's why some people might say it was a sequel of sorts. But yeah, this is in that genre vein, I guess. I guess you could say that 1990 movie, did it come out in 1990? A Dangerous Minds, I think it was. Was that the one with Michelle Pfeiffer? Where she is the idealistic teacher who has to deal with a bunch of hoodlums in class. You know, so that idea got revived later. Sandy Dennis was always an interesting actress. Always had that awkward, nervous, neurotic energy. Very strange, but always compelling. So it's quite a set for $1. You know, less than 20 cents a disc. I would never have dreamed 50 years ago that I could own any one of these movies for 20 cents in my own home on a disc that's 4 inches across and a dime thin, right? So last but not least, this was the find of the day. Pardon, Mon Affaire, a French movie from the 70s on the International Collection. This is a Samuel Goldwyn International and Embassy International Collection VHS. I got rid of all these, and now I kind of have been looking fruitlessly for at least one or two to put back in my collection. This was remade in 1984 as The Woman in Red with Gene Wilder and Kelly LeBrock as The Woman in Red. It's the same premise. I don't remember the actors in this one. I don't remember watching this one, so this will kind of be fun to catch up on. It's in good shape, so you used to see these at rental stores all the time. It's in good shape. The label is not coming off, which is usually a problem with these International Collection Embassy VHS tapes. This is a real treasure, and it might actually be worth money, but I'm going to keep it. It's going to go into the honored position over here somewhere in the VHS retro collection. Alright guys, well it's a great day. I walked to the store today and perfect temperature for that, and now I'm going to go cut the grass because it's perfect temperature for that as well.